kids are back in school, the days are getting shorter, and the weather is getting cooler, at least a few days a week. That means autumn's here. But that doesn't mean that the fun has stopped here in Portsmouth. There are still tons of special activities and events taking place throughout the city. And on today's show, we're going to look at events taking place in September and October. That's coming up right here and right now on this September-October 2018 episode of Portsmouth Now. Welcome to our September-October 2018 episode of Portsmouth Now. I'm your host, Rob Lauer. You know, here in Virginia, the autumn is a big tourist season. People come here to see the changing of the leaves in the Shenandoah Valley and the mountains, but there are also some great places right here in Portsmouth to catch the changing of the seasons. One place is Hoffler Creek Wildlife Preserve in Churchland. And right over here is a gentleman, James Bussy, who is going to tell us what's happening at Hoffler Creek. Welcome to James.
Thanks for having me, Rob. How are you?
Good to have you back. So how have things been going this year at Hoffler Creek?
Man, it's been a great year. We've achieved a couple of new funding sources and we're having a ton of fun. Among the things has been a new partnership that we developed with Team Up, the Up Center's mentorship program, and the Department of Games and Inland Fisheries. Virginia Department of Games and Inland Fisheries funded us this year for a program that's that has allowed us to get some of these at-risk kids out on the water for some kayak skills training courses all summer long. It's been a ton of fun and a really rewarding program.
That's great. I know you've been really busy. We've tried to get you here earlier this year, and you're just really, that's great. Hey. Now, for the audience members who actually don't know where Hoffler Creek is, a lot of Portsmouth residents, they think of parks, they think of City Park, but we have Hoffler Creek in Churchland.
Yep, and we are a little bit different than a city or a state park. We are a nonprofit, so we're a little bit more restricted about our use of the property. We're only open 6 hours a day, 6 days a week, which does make it a little bit tough for some people to make it in there. And it's part of why many people have not really heard of us. If you were to take the Town Point Road exit off of 164, we're a straight shot 2 miles north on the left-hand side, just before you hit the James River.
You sort of drive through, what is
Churchland.
The road? Yeah, Churchland.
Yeah,
there's
Town Point Road turns
Town
into
Point.
Twin Pines Road, and that's where
then you have this entrance, and it's a wooded area, and that's the park.
Exactly, and we've got 3 miles of hiking trails out there. We have 15 spots for kayak rentals. So if somebody's got a youth or educational group, we do deep discounts or even free, depending on the program that they're actually running. And yeah.
And you have Hoffler Creek itself, and then I know that you have kayaks there. And in the kayak launch, you could actually see right off into the Montgomery-Mac Bridge. You can see that off in the distance, and the James River Bridge.
Yep, Hoffler Creek is the last tributary of the James River, kind of right where it converges with the Nansemond River. And so there's technically water access there out to the greater Chesapeake Bay, and what we would commonly call Hampton Roads.
Now, before we started rolling, you were giving us some interesting facts about water lines here shorelines here in Portsmouth. But a resident of Portsmouth, born here, had no idea.
Exactly. We've got almost 90 miles of shoreline here in the city of Portsmouth.
I had no idea.
We're actually fairly fortunate. Hoffler Creek and then, of course, the Elizabeth River projects, Paradise Creek, are the only 2 public kayak launches in the entire city.
Wow.
So it's a great place to come and actually enjoy a little bit of access to the water that you can't really do in many other places.
Now, things I know, because it's a reserve, things are constantly changing throughout the years, given the seasons and bird migrations and such.
Exactly.
Like that. So what are some things that you could see at Hoffler Creek this time of year?
Well, that's something that we're really looking forward to. So we do an early bird walk the second Saturday of each month. It starts at 8 a.m. and birders get access to the preserve before we actually open to the public. Our fall walks are led by a great guide. His name is Dave Brown. And we are looking forward to migratory season. So we're already starting to see ruby-throated hummingbirds starting to move down the coastline here in August, September, and then October. We'll start seeing some of our kestrels, the peregrine falcons, and a few of the other raptors as they make their way on down. And then you see a number of other birds that I just call little brown birds, but the experts call prothonotary warblers and yellow-rumped warblers. And to me, they all look the same, but if you know what to listen for, they're apparently the highlight of the fall.
Wow.
So,
now you have some big events coming up? I know that the big annual fundraiser for Hoffler Creek is coming up.
Yeah, so we have a bunch of great nature programs. Before that though, September 23rd, we'll be doing a 6 p.m. program. We'll do a sunset walk for the vernal equinox. It's the closest weekend day to the equinox, not vernal, it's the autumn equinox, vernal being the spring. We'll do a sunset walk for that. Then September 22nd. September 23rd, we'll do a Creek Critters program. That's a free drop-in program where a researcher named Jessica Thompson, Dr. Thompson, comes down from Christopher Newport University and will introduce us to a number of the little creatures we see in the creek. She sets them all up in little aquariums so you can see the sea squirts and the crabs and the anemones and things like that we actually have growing here in the Chesapeake Bay. Wow. And that's free from 11 to 1. She'll be out on our oyster pier doing that. And we do an Owl Adventures program, I believe that is October 12th. 7 to 9 p.m. We'll get to meet a couple of ambassador rescue owls from one of our local rehabilitators, Nature's Nanny, and then we'll do an owl prowl. We'll actually call the owls. The last one we had was a great success. We use an app to make the bird sounds, and the last time we started a screech owl dating service. We had 5 or 6 screech owls that just were chatting with each other for the next 20 minutes. A couple of them flew overhead. We were able to see them. It was really great. And then our October does cap off. It ends with one big weekend. So our fall fundraiser and our fall festival will be combined into one weekend. On Saturday, October 27th from 1 to 5:30 p.m. We're going to be doing Octoberfest. It's our take on Oktoberfest. We'll have some great local brews to be served up, brats, baked chicken, soft pretzels, and all the fun and games that go along with a Octoberfest celebration. We've got a great Oompa band that's coming down. They're taking the day off at Busch Gardens to come see us, called the Happy Dutchman. A real great 6-piece band and plenty of games and activities. That's for the grown-ups, really. We do have tickets for under 21, and families are encouraged, but the next day is really for the little kids, and that's when we do our fall festival, which is a free and safe trick-or-treating event. It runs from 11 to 4 on Sunday, October 28th. Get dressed up, come dressed up as your favorite wild animal if you can. That's our favorite, of course, being the Wildlife Preserve. But we'll have a bunch of nonprofit partners out there sharing their missions, crafts, activities, and of course, plenty of candy. We'll do a hay ride and a spooky trail walk and
sounds like
some
a
great
lot
things
of fun.
like that. Yep.
Now, people, do you take volunteers? Do you need volunteer help?
Absolutely.
If people were watching this and maybe they were interested in volunteering, what would they do?
Absolutely. So that can range. We manage 142 acres with a very small staff, so we do rely on volunteer support very heavily. A couple of ways: we do a volunteer work day, which is every second Saturday, and that runs from 10 to 1. And you can sign up through volunteerhamptonroads.org for that. And participate with grounds and trail maintenance, everything from minor carpentry to pushing a lawnmower around or spreading mulch on a trail. But we also have regular volunteers. We've got a couple of individuals that help us with grants. We've got a couple of people that help us just staff our headquarters. Right now we are looking for an individual or two to maybe help us out with some social media, graphic design, pretty much anybody who might be interested in supporting our ongoing mission of preserving and conservation, and of course the environmental education, helping getting into classrooms more and more. Would be welcome. We can always use the support, and there's pretty much room for anything.
Okay. Is there a number of people to call or a website that they can visit?
So the best place would be to check out our website, which is www.hofflercreek.org. There is a Contact Us button on there. If they need to call us, we're only in the office. Generally can count on us being there 10 to 4, Tuesday through Sunday. But that phone number is 686-8684. So, yep. Call and get a hold of me or Rachel or our education coordinator or whoever might just be sitting behind the desk there for the afternoon.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Really, it's a beautiful spot. If you haven't visited, really check it out. Hoffler Creek, and give us the address again. It's off of
Twin Pines Road, 4510 Twin Pines Road, Portsmouth, Virginia, 23703.
All right, thanks, James.
Hey, thanks for having me.
The Portsmouth Department of Parks, Recreations, and Leisure Services has events going on throughout September and October in the city parks and elsewhere. Here's Mark Furlo to tell us what they've scheduled. Mark, welcome to Portsmouth Now.
Thanks for having me, Rob.
So what does the department have going on in September and October?
Well, we have our before and after school program. The 6 to 6 program will be starting up in September, starts with school, and we'll be offering that at 8 different locations, 8 different elementary schools throughout the city. For information about the locations and pricing, you can call our main office at 393-8481.
Okay. And with heading into the fall, anything's going on in the parks or outdoor activities?
Yeah, we have some special events going on. September, the first Thursday in September is going to be our last Sunset Thursday concert, and we'll have the Forte, which is a jazz band, will be performing starting at 6:30 at High Street Landing. We also will be trying our first bike-in movie at High Street Landing on Friday, September 14th at 8 o'clock. And so
you ride your bike there?
Yeah, it's just like the old drive-in movies, only you ride a bike out there. There'll be some seating out there, so you don't have to worry about that. There's also some lawn seating too. If you've got a backpack and a blanket, that'd be great. We're gonna be showing the original 1984 Karate Kid movie. So the concept behind it is to show a movie with an iconic bike scene. And if you remember from Karate Kid, there's this scene where the Karate Kid's getting chased down by the guys on the motorcycles through the park, and they eventually, before he learns to fight back, exactly. So that's going to be a great time. We're hoping to have a big turnout, and everybody will ride their bikes out to High Street Landing and enjoy a family movie.
Sounds like a lot of fun. How about in the parks? Anything going on?
Yeah, so we also have a new playground, a nature-themed playground that's going to be opening soon at Paradise Creek Park. And we have a new Fit Park that'll be opening soon at Fountain Park in the Port Norfolk neighborhood.
Great. All right. Now Halloween's coming up. Do you have any Halloween events?
We sure do. We have the Trunk or Treat event that we do with the public safety departments, the police, fire, and sheriff department. That will be the weekend before Halloween, and it'll be at the Union Bank and Trust Pavilion. On Friday night, we'll just do the haunted house, and then on Saturday we'll have the haunted house and the candy and the games and the entertainment and everything that we had last year. It was last year's event was such a great time. Everybody had such a great experience. We had to bring it back again.
Great, and it's free to the public to show up?
It is. Yeah, it's free to the public.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. Well, thanks for joining us and telling us all about it. Be sure to check it all out.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks. When you visit Old Town Portsmouth, you'll find lots of unique shops to find that perfect gift for someone. Now, I'm standing in one such shop. This is the Gallery Shop, and it is the gift shop for the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center that is housed just next door in the old 1846 Portsmouth Courthouse. Now, outside of this location, every Saturday morning, most Saturdays throughout the year, you'll find the Olde Towne Farmers Market. And right here we have the director, Terry Danaher. Welcome, Terry.
Thank you very much.
And she's here to tell us about what you can find at this time of year, going to the fall.
Well, fall is just a state of mind these days. Our summer has extended itself, so we now have a season that goes beyond what we normally expect. So we've had blueberries, blackberries, cherries. We still have all those things coming, yet we had our first infusion of apples at the same time at last Saturday's market. So it's been a sort of fascinating way to look at Mother Nature changing her mind about what goes where, when, and the market has become a kind of fun surprise place in ways that it used to not be.
So, surprising. So you have basically stuff from midsummer still available into September and October?
Right. We're still eating tomatoes. Now, they're getting fewer and farther between. So the best tomatoes, the heirlooms, are starting to fade because they have a specific kind of growing time anyway. The time as opposed to season, it's really kind of strange. I'm learning all kinds of things I never, ever thought I would learn. I did not take horticulture, and I did not take botany past when I absolutely had to. So the market is a real educational experience for people like me who come and have that advantage of being able to talk to the farmers and find out what should be happening and what isn't happening, or what is happening, and what delicious foods are available now and just perfect to eat right now.
So you mentioned apples, particular types of apples?
Well, the galas are in right now. Apparently the Honey Crisps will be coming in very soon, and my favorite are the Honey Crisps. I love those apples. So I held out for those. I bought blackberries instead. And that's just it. You know, we're still buying okra and tomatoes, and the apples are in. And we have greens that typically you would think, well, why are you buying kale in the summer? But it's been a terrific crop, and we just had some for dinner last night. So it's, as I said, it's a lovely surprise, and it's fun to go to the market just to find out what's there. So,
and what's still there?
What's still there that you don't expect. Yeah.
Okay. What types of baked goods and things are there at this time of year? I mean,
we have
pretty consistent throughout the year, I guess, since they're not dependent on temperature.
Well, but they are dependent to a degree on some of them on what kind of berries are there. You don't bake apple pies if you don't have apples. So apple pies don't really come in to the market until now. Okay. Blackberry pie, blueberry pie, they're all over the place.
Around.
They're really wonderful. But a lot of the other baked goods, as you said, they're not seasonal dependent. We have some vendors who sell savory pastries that are, you know, they incorporate things like tomato jam. So when the tomatoes are in season, they use those. We have a lot of pastries where there are different kinds of bread that are used in the different bakers. So somebody might be into the sort of flaky pastry, and somebody else is doing a traditional pie dough, and somebody else is doing, like Holy Rollers is doing their yeast rolls, which are amazing, and they sell out every week. They're gone, and they do the most incredible cinnamon buns too. We have cake bakers, pie bakers. You can buy cornbread. It just covers sort of the gamut of
some of the bakers. I mean, with holidays, I mean, Halloween is coming up in this period, and then we're going into Thanksgiving, Christmas. Do we see things related to the holidays?
We have people who will bring in candies and candles. And we have, cookies are, of course, popular all year round, but especially during Halloween and those times when people like to snack on a nice big chocolate chip cookie. Or we have, Mandel Maven does these amazing sort of shortbread nut, all kinds of different ways of dealing with those. Little sort of almost biscotti, but not. And then we have biscotti. So it is like, the trouble is trying to decide what you want. I shop the market all the time. That's what I do.
You were saying before you started rolling, did you buy most of your produce at the market?
I do. I buy most of everything at the market. I buy my pork there. We are looking for a new beef vendor. We lost our beef and chicken vendor. They kind of aged out of the market. I buy anything that I can buy there, I buy there, including gifts. And then I come here to buy some other gifts. And some of our vendors have products here, and our vendors shop here. So this is a kind of mutual relationship. It's a good one. Symbiotic, I think, is the term. But there are so many things. We have woodworkers. So I'm looking for a wedding gift for somebody. And there is a vendor who makes the most gorgeous salad bowls that you've never seen anywhere else. And so it's like, okay, this makes the perfect gift because I know these people could never buy it because they don't live here, and I'm buying it for them, So there's jewelry that is completely, it's unique. I'm wearing some right now. So we have this large selection of everything from food to fun items like jewelry and gifts,
So what are the hours on Saturdays?
We start at 9 o'clock in the morning. People do try to sneak in a little bit earlier sometimes to shop, but we ask people to wait till 9 o'clock because it puts a lot of pressure on the vendors and they're trying to get ready. We run until 1 typically, but there are times when we have special occasions. For instance, September 29th, we're having an Oktoberfest celebration. Oktoberfest, for those people who don't know, starts in September. It ends at the beginning of October. So Oktoberfest, I lived in Germany for 16 years, I know this. So we're having a celebration on the 29th, and we'll have beer and wine in the courtyard. We'll have food, we'll have music, and as many fun things as we can pull together, as well as our regular vendors who will be selling their food and their items.
Wow, so a big Oktoberfest celebration on the 29th September.
Right, and then on October 6th, the following Saturday, we have the Art and Cultural District opening here, and there's going to be another celebration in the courtyard when we will again have beer and wine, because we do like to have our beer and wine. And actually, that's the end of Oktoberfest, so we're kind of going on both sides of it, and we will have music again and fun and things to do. And our winter hours then start in the first market in November, and that's from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like a lot of fun. So it's not just about food anymore.
No, it's about food and fun.
That sounds good. All right. Thanks for joining us, Terry, and telling us what's happening.
Thank you. I've enjoyed telling you.
Thank you.
Take care.
The Portsmouth Humane Society is a great place to go if you're looking for that special furry friend that you'd like to adopt. They also are sponsoring some fantastic fun-filled events this October. And here is James McLaughlin to tell us about some of those events. James, welcome back to Portsmouth Now.
All right, thank you for having us. It's always a pleasure.
But listen, last month you told us about the Empty the Shelters program that was going on. How did that turn out?
So I'm very happy to say that besides the Portsmouth Humane Society, was pretty much all the local shelters participated. It was a little over 3,000 animals on the final day, or altogether throughout that month, found their forever homes. We did 40 adoptions in a single day, 230 for the month. It was a great event, and it got a lot more people thinking about that, how many great animals there are sitting in shelters that need a forever home. And to think about that first before going to the pet stores and the breeders and things like that.
That's great. Now, coming up, September, October, we have events coming up, and you have one of your big events coming up for this time of the year, and that's the pub crawl? Is that what's
the next big thing that we have is our Olde Towne pub crawl. For the viewers, most people know that we have some of the best restaurants and pubs here in Olde Towne, and it doesn't get much better than this. Close proximity. This is, we've been doing this for quite some time. We took 1 year break, and this is our second year with the zombie pub crawl theme. So you can dress up. We're gonna have a costume contest at the end. Basically $25 registration. You get a t-shirt. This is one of our shirts from last year. A survival kit. Basically you get a wristband. You go to, right now we have commitments from pretty much every bar and restaurant down here, where they'll have specials if you got a wristband from us, where you get all kinds of drink or food specials. You can have a great time. You have a little punch card. You get it marked at each of the locations showing that you stopped everywhere. You turn that in at the end and you're entered into raffles for different prizes. We have Stephanie Taylor will be at the after party at Roger Brown's at the end of it, and we'll be doing the costume contest and announcing how much money we've raised for the animals. There'll be a live band. It's always a great time. It's an easy thing for people to come out and support, from what I found.
So, dress up like a zombie? Dress up like
you could dress up like a zombie. We had all kinds of different types of Halloween costumes last year also. We will do best male, best female, best couple. If we have enough groups, we might even do a best group themed costume, but it's always a great time. Every penny goes back into helping the animals, and so you're helping the animals and you're helping out all these wonderful businesses here in Olde Towne. And for those of you that have never been, I guarantee you're going to find some place down here that's going to be on your short list of favorite places to go after this.
That's great. And what is the date for that?
It's going to be October 13th from 5 to 9. And registration link will be on portsmouthhumanesociety.org, or you can go to our Facebook feed and you'll see a link for registration. And of course, even if you're not coming out, you just want to make a donation to support, you can also do that through our homepage or send something in or stop by the shelter. It's always appreciated. $25, your registration, you get your shirt, your kit, your wristband that gets you all the great deals with all the great restaurants and pubs down here. and it's a great time. Big after party at Roger Brown's at the end. We even at registration, we even have some makeup artists. If you have a costume but you want some help, that will, for a donation, they'll do up your makeup if you want to get zombified. And people enjoyed that last year. That was something we added. So it's going to be a great evening. And you know, by the time we get to October 13th, hopefully we're gonna have a nice cool evening for people to enjoy just working their way through. And the Renaissance even came on board as a sponsor, and they are offering special room rates to people that have registered for the pub crawl. So
if you literally have to crawl from the pub crawl,
if you've had too much to drink, we don't want people drinking and driving. We've made it very easy. We are working on getting the Olde Towne shuttle to help out with people that want to transport, but we're only a few blocks away from the Renaissance. You have a good time, go to the Renaissance, get a good night's sleep, don't take any chances, don't drink and drive. Everyone's had a great time and the animals get helped.
Sounds like a lot of fun for a good cause.
Yes.
But thanks for stopping by and telling us all about it.
All right, and thank you for having me, as always.
You're welcome. That's it for our show today. If you'd like more information on any of the events that we've covered, simply log on to www.portsvaevents.com and then come to Portsmouth, where if you give us a day, we'll give you a vacation. I'm Rob Lauer. Join me next time for our November-December episode of Portsmouth Now.